Hey guys, Harrison One back at it once again with a brand new video for you, and welcome to something a bit different on this channel. We're going to talk some Formula E, everybody. First of all, before we start up, I want to say a massive thank you to Daniel McDonald for sending me this Forza 5 gameplay of the Formula E car in action at Long Beach, which you'll see later on in the Formula E calendar. I owe him a huge favour on this one. His link to his channel is in the description, so please subscribe to Danny if you haven't already. And I'm very, very grateful for his doing me an enormous favour as well. But yeah, Lucas Di Grassi wins the inaugural Formula E, or Beijing ePrix as they're calling it, in the streets of Beijing, just ahead of it was Stefan Montagny in second and Sam Bird in third. A bit of controversy involved in the race as well. We had a huge, you've probably already seen it if you're watching this video, a huge lap 1 incident. Not that one, sorry, the final lap, I should say, the final corner of the Grand Prix. Nicolas Prost had pretty much led from start to finish, but he was getting reeled in by Nick Heidfeld. Heidfeld went for a last-ditch pass into the final corner. It looked like Heidfeld had got him, and Nicolas Prost had accidentally turned into him. Prost, after the race, suggesting that, having seen the replay footage, that he just didn't see where Heidfeld was at, and they had an enormous collision. Heidfeld spun, had come off the last corner sausage curb and flew up in the air. It was a horrendous accident. Luckily, Heidfeld was okay. In fact, he was up and out of the car and ran straight towards Nico Prost. Like, what the hell were you doing? Basically, within seconds of him being flipped upside down at a better part of 120 miles an hour, which, makes you think, these cars are still incredibly safe. Apparently, the batteries in Heidfeld's car were taken out and were still working perfectly fine afterwards. A testament to the safety in these Formula E cars. It's fantastic to see. Heidfeld just get out of the car. That was an enormous crash, but Heidfeld was absolutely okay, thankfully. But as a result, those two taking each other out gifted the win to Lucas Di Grassi, who was in third and fighting with Stefan Montagny all the way through. He himself, Montagny, had put on a really bold pass on Charles Pic, his teammate, on the opening lap, and yeah, great drive overall from Montagny in second. And Sam Bird was promoted from fourth to third after Karen Chandrock had battery problems at the end of the race for Mahindra. And on top of that, Daniel Abt, who I believe had overused his battery, I think, either that or had some kind of drive-through. I'm not sure which one. I'm hearing conflicting reports, but I'm hearing he overdid it on his battery. And as a result, he had a time penalty, and he finished in 10th place instead, promoting Sam Bird to third. Because who knows, the bird is the word. And of course, because it's a German team, there is no escape from the German national anthem as Aldi wins another Grand Prix. But a lot of people have been asking me, what do I think of Formula E? What do I think of this? What do I think of it all so far? And honestly, I was largely pretty impressed with the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing didn't feel like it was their first ever Grand Prix. It felt pretty good. I mean, the warm-up lap was very, very slow. That was about 4 or 5 minutes long, which was a little bit irritating. But overall, I think there was some good action up and down the field. There was some, the driver quality is clearly there. There was some good quality passing. Yes, Nico Prost was a bit of a bonehead at the end, and yes, he's been given a 10-place grid drop for the Malaysia race in 2 months' time. But overall, I think the quality of racing was pretty good. I mean, the noise thing, I know people have brought up the noise and the lack of it taken away from the spectacle a little bit, but in my opinion, I thought it didn't have that much of a problem. It sounded like my old remote-controlled cars I used to drive around as a kid, and that's not exactly a bad thing. I quite like the noise, and, Formula 1 fans bitched about the sound of the cars at the start of this season too, but no one's complaining about that anymore, really. I think it's one of those things people just like to complain about to start off with, and they just get used to it, and it's not really a factor anymore, if that makes any sense. The noise, the noise was the playing of the music during the race. Now, I know Alejandro Agag, the founder of Formula E, was very high on this. He wanted to try and make an overall race experience as much of an entertainment experience as possible by having music playing during the warm-up lap and during the start of the race, and as well as like whenever drivers use fan boosts, the pit lane being open, they play some music. And you know, it's not great. It makes it sound a little low rent, if that makes any sense, but I don't think it was that bad. It's not a game breaker or anything. If anything, it's a nice change. I think people comparing this to Formula 1, I think have got the wrong idea. I don't think it should be a comparison to Formula 1, especially given they're both run by the same institution in the FIA. I'd say just appreciate it for what it is, and that's something different. And I appreciate guys like AGAG and the engineers and the drivers doing something, and the sport in general doing something different. The social media approach, I think, is great. The fan boost idea. Unfortunately, we didn't see much of the fan boost in action because the 3 drivers who won the votes for it, Bruno Senna, he crashed on lap 1. Catherine Legger was down the bottom of the field for most of the Grand Prix. I think she was 13th or 14th, so she didn't really factor in the race at all. And Lucas Di Grassi, I don't think we actually saw him use it. I mean, maybe we missed it somewhere amongst the race, but I don't think Di Grassi actually used his, because I heard they were going to be actually playing music when they had that fan boost. So the 3 guys that had it, I don't think it really impacted the race at all. Obviously, I think the jury is still out on that one. I'm not entirely sure using social media as a popularity contest to give drivers an advantage and directly or indirectly affecting the outcome of a Grand Prix is the right way to go. But I want to see it in action before I truly pass judgment. So I'm going to hold out on that one for now. I'm sure we'll see it feature more often in Malaysia. I'm glad as well that they're sticking to street circuits overall, in my opinion, because I don't think this would work as well on like conventional track layouts. I think the straights are too long, and I think the cars are too slow overall in terms of the top speed of these cars is about 140 miles an hour. So if there was like any tracks on the modern day calendar with really long straights, you'd be seeing passing like everywhere, and I don't think that would really work. So the fact it's going to be on some new tracks, I think that could be pretty intriguing as well. So overall, my thumbs are up. I think ITV's coverage was pretty good as well. ITV4 was hosting the races. They didn't show practice and qualifying, but I can understand why they didn't, because it was all done on the same day, so you'd have to free up like 8 hours of TV time, which I think is a bit of a stretch. So I can understand why they're not doing that, but I think Jenny Gao was a solid anchor. I enjoyed her. She was solid. She was passionate. She was knowledgeable, she was enthusiastic, and that's always a good start. I think Jan Mardenborough was very good, and it was great to see Jack Nicholls you may remember him from his Formula Sim racing days on YouTube, now doing Formula E commentary alongside Dario Franchitti, and I think they were a very solid commentary pairing as well. So overall, thumbs up, I would say. I enjoyed the race, I enjoyed the overall spectacle, I think the racing was good, and overall I thought it was an enjoyable Grand Prix. I'd love to hear what you guys think of Formula E. If you watched it, what did you make of Nicolas Prost's incident? What did you make of the race in general? The overall feel? Are you going to keep watching? I know I'm going to give Formula E a chance to keep watching as well. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say on it all. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Thanks again to Daniel for the footage, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Sayonara.